What is up, bookworms and constant readers? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you the absolute best book I have read so far this year. Pause this video, go out, buy it, check it out. It is that good. It is James S.A. Corey's Leviathan Wakes. This is the first book in the Expanse series, and I have never seen the TV show. All I've done is heard great things about this book, and total 5 out of 5 right off the bat. Amazing book. There was nothing in it from beginning to end that I didn't like. The only thing that I can say negative about this book, and it's not even this book, it's what they do with the covers after book 4. So these covers, they are amazing. I mean, look at that cover. And what's cool is they look really neat on a shelf, because they put the title of the book in the big font with the author's name in the small white font. Until you get to book 5, and that all changes. In the 5th book, they put the author's name in this huge font, and they put the title in the small font. And it looks horrible. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if it was a mistake. I've looked up, like, what is the reason for this? So your first 4 books look really cool sitting on a shelf, but then the last books until book 8, they don't match. And that's the only thing that I have found negative about this series. Now, James S.A. Corey is actually 2 different people. I forget their names. I haven't read any of their stuff. But you cannot tell that this book was written by 2 different people. And I think that really shows the caliber of writing with these books. The other thing is, for a science fiction book, these are not overly technical either. They talk about stuff, and you kind of get an understanding of what it is, what it does, because of the way they write, and they do sort of explain things. They just don't throw a bunch of terms at you and expect you to flip to the back to the glossary and find out what that is. I like that. I read for fun. When I'm reading like a textbook or something, I have that expectation, okay, I might need to look things up. What is that? Look in the index, or look in, the appendices, or, the glossary, if it has one, and, find out, what does that mean? When it comes to fun reading, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to keep track of, thousands and thousands of names and terms, and, just let me read and have fun. That's what this is. So what's it about? Well, this is one of those books where it starts out as 2 separate stories that merge into one and open up a much larger story. The best thing about this book is it's believable. And before I get into what it's about, that's important to talk about, because they don't give any dates in this book, but it's probably 300 to 500 years in the future. Some of the things that are going on is, we think Earth is overpopulated now. All the trees are gone. There's like 32 or 33 billion people living on the planet. That's like 7 times more than there are now. We have colonized the moon. We've colonized Mars, moons of planets. Everything takes place in our solar system. We have yet to leave our solar system, but we can travel around in our own solar system. We have colonies living in the asteroid belt on some of the larger asteroids. Mining is a big business. That's what they do in the belt. Also hauling ice for water to the planetary moons and the other planets that people live on. Water is in huge demand, and so they have these giant starships that will harvest ice, and these are like blocks of ice as big as houses, and then they will carry that back to the the asteroid belt, the inner planets, and some of the outer planetary moons where people are living. And that's kind of where the story picks up. You're on this ice harvesting cargo ship called the Canterbury, and it gets a distress signal, and it's like law that they have to respond. So they show up to this ship and its distress signal. They send a away party to go check it out, and that's where our main characters come in. You have Captain James Holden. You have his first officer, Naomi. You have I think 3 other people. One of them dies. But you have their whole crew that go check this out. And out of nowhere, this stealth ship destroys the Canterbury. It's called the Cant. And Holden discovers that the distress signal was a fake distress signal. It was planted on the bridge. It wasn't a part of the ship. And it has Martian Navy markings on it. And he swears he's going to find out, who is responsible. He broadcasts this information to the entire solar system and starts this war against the belt and the Martian Navy. Earth has yet to get involved. And so there's this Detective Miller, who he works on this station that is in the belt. He's given this case of this missing girl. I believe her name is Julie. And her parents want her back. She's an earther. She ran off to, do her own thing, and they want her back. And so he gets, extremely attached to this girl. And in the midst of this war that's going on, there's this faction who takes over the space station, and Detective Miller is fired. He has no job now. He refuses to let this case go. And he discovers that this Julie was on this ship that Holden investigated that was left abandoned. And with his detective skills, he figures out that Holden and his crew are headed to this other space station. And what he doesn't realize is they're looking for the same person. Events unfold that they meet up. They discover that they're looking for the same person, but there's a much larger picture to the whole situation. It deals with this really powerful corporation. They're messing around with this alien virus that was sent long, long ago from an alien world to basically destroy humans. And they're messing around with it and doing all this crazy stuff with it. And they kind of team up to put an end to all this and get answers. It's an amazing story. It's beautifully written. The characters are awesome. The characters that you should like, you like. The characters that you don't like, you don't like. And then there's also characters you're not really sure of. And they're always kind of shady. And you never know what they're up to. You can't trust them. There's political intrigue. There's shootouts. There's space battles. It's an amazing story. And the cool thing is there are 8 books right now in this series. There's supposed to be a 9th one coming. But this book ends... the ending is going to surprise you. But this book ends where it doesn't leave you hanging. Everything is wrapped up, and this could have been a one-off, and I would have been happy with it. A lot of these series that, first book, it leaves you hanging. You have to read the second book. Like, if you saw my Star Wars video with the New Republic, The Light of the Jedi, it just kind of leaves you hanging, and you have to wait till like June or July for the next book to come out to find out what happens. This does not do that. Everything, I think, is wrapped up really nice, and it could have totally ended with this book. I cannot wait to read the second book. It is on my immediate TBR list. This is definitely a series I can't wait to see where it's going. After I finish the series, I will probably watch the TV show just to see how different the show is from the books. Highly recommend it, guys. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever. It is amazing. If you've heard about this book, believe everything you've heard about it. Unless it's negative. If it's a negative review, I don't know what those people read, because I could find nothing negative about this book. This is my favorite book I've read for the year so far. Can't wait to continue on with this series. If any of the other books are as good as this one, it's going to be an awesome read. That's all I have for you. Check out Leviathan's Wake, book 1 of the Expanse, and until next time, read more books.